idea here is trying to implement AI with a personalized touch, making sure that it's successful so that both brands and customers enjoy the benefits. I think you've all probably have experienced poorly built AI chatbots, especially with massive companies where it's impossible to find their phone number. You're stuck in chatbot loops. So that's really benefiting the brand so that they don't have to talk to customers, save costs. But we want to benefit both the brand and the customers. So we want to make sure we implement it properly with Gorgias' big focus on AI and moving forward. We want to make sure that's implemented properly. Workshop objectives here today, hopefully what you take away from this. We want to go over what the goals are for AI. I think we're probably all going to be on the same page. Identify potential risks and best practices when we're implementing to make sure that we're mitigating the possible risks with implementing AI tools here. We want to understand AI's capabilities. So it's not going to find lost packages for you. It's not going to pick up the phone. It's not going to fix damaged products. So we want to make sure that we know what it can be used for here. And then the importance of empathy and personalization. So building in your brand tone, your brand voice, making it feel as human as possible. How to get started with building AI, and you've probably seen the Gorgias team show you a little bit of the back end, but we'll give you some pointers here on how to get that going. And then once you're up and running, what those metrics for success are. How to make sure that it's operating properly, how to make sure that it's successful, because AI, you don't just plug in and walk away. It's constant maintenance and making sure that it's successful moving forward in perpetuity here. A little bit about Omnie. So we're a customer service agency. We help brands around the world outsource their customer service. We don't just kind of provide agents and say, here you go, you train them, you manage them. We manage the Gorgias help desk, we build the AI tools, and then we build a team of agents and managers to support your customers with whatever can't be automated. That way, the automation's taking care of the low-hanging fruit, and the agents can focus on sales, customer retention, upselling, converting site visitors. And we work with brands in all e-commerce verticals, footwear, apparel, beauty, and cosmetics, and with Gorgias focusing on AI. We're going to be their AI transformation partner moving forward. We've been using other tools and some in-house software to automate with our partners for the last 6-9 months, and now Gorgias is ready to really focus on AI. So we're going to be at the tip of the spear with them and make sure that, that they're doing it properly and making sure that it's successful for all their brands. We have 4 offices across North America. We support partners in 20 countries and over 100 languages through both AI in all those languages, but also agents as well. Essential takeaways. So I'd love to hear who we have in the room and kind of what you're expecting to get from this session. So I don't want to come up here and just talk the entire time. I'd love to hear what you're trying to get from this session, and with our experience in AI, the last 6-9 months, especially, kind of try and guide that discussion. So any volunteers who kind of are having some expectations here today, and we want to make sure that we can kind of guide the conversation. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so just kind of the whole thing of how to make it your brand voice.
Microphone too.
Yeah, so just how to make everything into your brand voice and
Yeah.
to not just sound robotic,
Yeah.
but yeah, just personalized.
I figured, yeah, we're going to get. Anyone else want to share? Quiet, there we go.
Hi, Yosef, customer experience at Cordova. I'm really curious to hear best practices and struggle to success stories about oversight with AI. It's I find it very difficult to plan where exactly to look, how often, for what, that sort of thing. So
Yeah, what metrics to check and how often to make sure that it's successful and not kind of automating responses that are inaccurate. And
analytics in and of itself, it's trusting. It's I feel I trust that I'm a very early adopter. I'm yeah, even if it's making mistakes, I'm we're still homies. I'm really glad you're here. But not everyone feels like that. And so oversight is this sort of interesting buzzword right now that's going around in my world. And I'm just curious to see what you guys have.
Absolutely. Talk about that at the end there. I think they're recording it, so I think they want the microphone for everything.
No worries. I kind of similarly to what you just said about oversight and also like brand image at the same time. I just want to kind of understand how to like use AI to be like a member of my team without like freaking out my team that like it's gonna like take over their job. Really like what kind of new tools they talked about in like the keynote and stuff about like using my team to like review what the AI does and kind of the roadmap to what their job's going to look like moving forward. And kind of the same thing for like what the customer is going to experience about our brand once AI comes into play.
Yeah, exactly. Agents will naturally feel like they're being replaced with AI, but they're just going to have another focus: sales, monitoring the AI, supporting it, and training it. So yeah, having that conversation with them is a good idea. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll keep going. Awesome. Who's had a poor experience as a consumer with chatbots in the past? I thought so. If you haven't, yeah, I'm shocked. That's great. The first chatbot was coded in 1966, and over the last 58 years, the experience has been iffy at best. This is kind of what your standard experience would have been 5 years ago and prior. So it's, hey, the customer comes in, they ask a question, and the AI will say, here's 3 articles. Somewhere in there, you're going to find an answer. Me, as a consumer, I'm not reading any articles, let alone 3, to try and find my answer. The customer's information lives in Shopify. Your help center is full of content. Your website is full of information. Your help desk is full of information. So why can't the AI draw from that to answer customers and give them specific answers, not reading long articles? And as Amazon delivers packages the next day and customer expectations are for 0 wait time, reading articles is just going to be tougher and tougher for your customers. So aside from answering FAQs and providing articles, what do you think that the AI should be able to cover? What do you think what kind of customer questions do you think that the AI should be able to answer with ease? Shopify actions? Yeah, perfect. Anything else that people expect? Tracking? Yeah. Right now, order management's great on the Gorgias chat widget, but chat is a lot of pre-purchase questions. So if I order from a company, I'm not going back to the website to find my package. I'm going to reply to the email that you sent me confirming my order, and that's kind of where the order management has fell short in the meantime. But as you can see, now tracking information can be provided through email, which is huge. Anything else people are expecting AI to do? Sorry, what was that? Yes. Yeah, at least basic troubleshooting. Yeah, like exactly. Agents are doing that anyway, following steps, and then at some point escalating it to a dev team or someone more advanced. Anything else you're expecting? Yes. Product recommendation is a good one. Yeah. So these are, we've been partnering with brands for a long, long time, prior to AI. This is what our brands have consistently wanted were their AI goals. So I want to save on support costs. I need a solution to support customers during seasonal spikes. So we work just with e-commerce brands. Q4 comes around, our HR team is in overdrive. But if you can really get AI tools running, and now's the perfect time to do that, coming into Q3, Q4, that'll help you with your seasonal spikes. And I want my customer service team to focus on sales and generate revenue. Make them more sales support versus just being, I guess, reactive to requests. We want to be available 24/7. And that's tough to do if you have to have an agent sitting on their hands staring at the wall at 1 o'clock in the morning. At least AI can handle the main questions, and then any serious issues can be handled during support hours. My agents should be focused on serious issues and complex requests. There we go. And then quick and enhanced product recommendations. So coming soon with the Gorgias AI is scraping website content. So, and if you have a super technical product with, let's say it's maybe food and beverage, and you have all of these kind of ingredients, or if it's a technical product, all these specs, and maybe you have thousands of SKUs, if a customer's asking to compare products or recommend products, the website scraping will really, really, really help you there. It's coming pretty soon. What are you most excited about with AI in customer support? And not just saving money. Anything else? Yeah. Good, good. The repetitive stuff, because that actually, agents don't love that either. Coming in Monday morning with 1,000 tickets that they have to get through is a shitty start to the day. Pardon my language. There you go. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I'm really excited that it's now within email because, like I mentioned, I don't know how heavy you are on chat volume, but a lot of questions post-purchase come through email, a lot of questions through chat pre-purchase. So AI eventually is going to be able to support any contact channel except Morse code and smoke signals, and I imagine Jordan and the Gorgias team have that on the roadmap. I'm sure they do. I think the biggest leap with AI is the personalization, the conversational experience where they actually feel like they're talking to a human, and being able to inject your brand tone and your brand voice. All right, who has implemented advanced AI tools in the past? Perfect. What was the impact?
So it's positive and negative,
Yeah.
in just in different categories of metrics.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it was successful. At first, we found that customers didn't use it, that they would just bypass it and want to speak to an agent.
So they would select like agent, and move on. Okay.
And then became more familiarized with it the more we built it out.
Okay.
Fast, accurate resolutions.
So you did train it over time, and now it's So now it's a lot better. Okay. And what about yourself?
Also,
Oh, yeah.
I will say, so I know there's a lot of concerns that it would make the agents feel like their jobs are at risk.
Yeah.
Oppositely, we found that our agents became more lazy, that they wanted to build the AI out to do their jobs. So then it opened up
I haven't heard that's a first.
so then it opened up conversations with just other areas that they're interested in for career development. So it's just
Right,
another
yeah.
area of conversation.
Yeah. As you grow and focus on other things, they could move into other roles. That's an interesting one. I've never heard that before. And yourself? At least automating themselves.
Resolution rate right now with the AI tool that we're using.
Okay.
And probably 2 to 3% of our consumers that are actually kind of doing the agent freak out.
Yep.
But it's relatively low. Most people are really engaging with it. And we
Yeah.
have consumers that are like throwing shoppers at it, that are thanking it, and that
Yeah.
are really interacting with it like it's a human. And that to me was I think one of the biggest surprises and also one of the biggest benefits.
Yeah.
And our agents still have plenty of work to do.
Yep.
Solving, kind of any of the escalations that come through it, or the cases that get directly to them.
Yeah.
That don't get funneled through the AI. So they're on the opposite side. They're like, hey, how do we get it to think more so that like our queue actually doesn't get as big.
Yeah. And I imagine the people that are just hitting agent, even if the answer was right, they just don't want to talk to the bot. Just give me a human. And the answers could be right. For all of you that said no, which is 99%. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Point. So for us, we built a large community of people. So the human factor part of it was the key
Yeah.
element. So the AI was unusual to them.
Yeah.
That was also just
Yeah, it's not for everyone. Offering a live agent and AI, then you capture both sides. Like me, I don't want to talk to a human. My mom will want to talk to a human. For those of you that haven't implemented AI, why is that? Is it you're worried about some things that we're talking about today? Is it bandwidth? I'm just curious. Yeah.
So I've had AI turn on and off throughout the past couple of weeks, just trying to see the flows of it. I just don't want them to say the wrong thing to customers that AI. Work in a very specific market where our products are paid to the Netherlands. If someone says, hey, I'm a high schooler and I want to purchase this car, you're gonna make sure they send the right information.
Yeah.
If not, you guys can some legal trouble. Don't want to know about that anymore.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
training and a lot of
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll talk about how to get it started and maybe do a phased approach so that you're not in any legal trouble. Because, yeah, we work with brands that are similar, and that's always their worry. Anybody else? Any reasons why you haven't?
I think for my team, there's 2 reasons. One is that we're an incredibly small team working just about at our capacity. So the thought of stopping to invest our time and energy into setting it
Yeah.
up and potentially providing poorer service to the
Yeah.
customers who have already reached out to us is scary.
Yep. Yeah, it's a huge change. But yeah, we hear that a lot. Is I'm so busy I can't implement AI, but then implementing AI will save you time in the end. But yeah, totally understand where you're coming from. Yeah, I want to break into pairs, although you're all separated, like it's COVID still. But can you turn to the person beside you, and each group maybe share potential risks to quality and how you could potentially mitigate them, and then we can share them together, if that's all right. Just take a couple minutes to pair up to the person beside you or whoever's within 5 feet of you, and maybe just discuss maybe one potential risk for quality and what you think possibly could be done to mitigate that there. And maybe we'll go around the room and share some here. All right. Is that enough time for everyone? That enough time? Yeah? Perfect. Is that enough time for everyone? Perfect, perfect. Awesome. All right. So we've talked a little bit about brand tone, brand voice, but what other potential risks to quality? How can that hurt your brand, and ways that you think we could mitigate those risks? And I'll take you through some ideas as well. I think she'll need a mic. And thanks for taking part in the workshop. I've done workshops where it's dead silence, and it's an awful 45 minutes, so thank you for that.
For both of our brands, our customers could have like health-related event experiences because
Yeah.
they're supplements, and so we want that to be immediately escalated to an agent because it's a very sensitive thing, and there could be legal action. You know, we could
Yeah.
be liable for that. So,
Yeah.
we assume we could set up rules to
Yeah.
keep AI from answering that.
Yeah, so I think you would have seen a small back-end demo of what the beta or what the AI agent looks like in Gorgias, and that would be through guidance, I believe, where you can, based on factors, like a workflow, so not necessarily the rules, where, yeah, questions like that are immediately routed to an agent or a particular agent that maybe specializes in those kind of serious cases. Yeah. Anyone else want to share their discussion here? That's okay, as long as you had a good discussion.
Yeah, we discussed a little bit about the idea of just premium brands and
Yep.
our customers, that are premium brand customers, really not wanting to use AI because they feel like they paid a certain value for your product and they want to talk to a human.
Yeah.
And one of the ways we got around implementing that was just when we implemented it, where we implemented it everywhere, we said, okay, here's an option to talk to somebody on email, here's our phone number, and here's AI. And we were really specific about this is AI. And so the people that were opting in to talk to the agent knew that they were doing it. We never tried to trick anybody by thinking that they weren't actually, or that they were actually speaking to a human. And even though consumers are clicking a button that says, yes, I want to talk to AI, they're still interacting with the AI almost as if it's a human.
Yeah.
Saying thank you, like, you know, kind of doing all sorts of crazy things that, like, when you think about the fact that you're thinking a robot, you would never actually do that in real life. But the transactions are so seamless that that's the experience they feel like they're having.
Yeah.
And so I shared that we had a couple consumers that, you know, kind of were like, hey, you're a premium brand, and, like, you know, kind of had explosions in the AI.
Yeah.
But the second you got those consumers on the phone and walked them through what it was and that there's always going to be a human available and that became one of our kind of canned actions that the bot could respond with, it really started to disarm all of that.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Unfortunately, it's because consumers have had such poor experiences in the past, they won't give it a try. And I see both sides too, saying it's AI, but also hiding that it's AI. I think letting the customer know they're talking to AI is a good idea, but it's funny, if I wanted to know my tracking number at 9 p.m. on a Friday, why would I wait for the human to give it to me? It's very strange. I think it's just they've had really poor experiences in the past with it. I think you had something to share as well? What she said? Okay. Awesome. So advanced AI tools work off confidence scores. And every time there's an AI response, it's given a confidence score. So it's just like it sounds, right? How confident is the AI that the response that they're providing is accurate? So we like to set up AI in phases so that the AI is only answering 100% confident. Anything 99 or less will not be responded to through AI. So customers getting an accurate answer. Any time that there's frustration detected, any time that they're angry, that they're upset, straight to an agent. No chatbot loops, no pushing back with the customer. So having it set up like that early on will kind of give you that peace of mind that they're not going to be kind of pushing back with customers. And because we don't want the customer experience to be at risk during ramp up. Like, ramp up slowly. You have a team of agents. You don't necessarily need to kind of turn on AI right off the gate for everything. So when we touch on metrics, we'll talk about some of the metrics to look at. Escalation rate is a big one. Where in the workflow is the AI failing? And you can see, I believe, Jordan, they can see when an AI response is pushed out, where that information came from, right? Which help center article, all that stuff, yeah. So perfect, yeah. So if you see that, hey, this particular kind of chat, these particular emails were always being escalated to an agent at a particular time, and you can dig in and see where there might be a gap in the workflow. So automation doesn't need to handle a ticket in full 100%. It can still help you with part of a ticket before it gets to an agent. So what do you think AI could handle with high confidence? Any ideas? Like real black and white questions. Bingo. I think we'll all frequently asked questions, help center, material order, status is black and white, order shipped or it hasn't. Here's the tracking number, right? Those are high confident responses that should be really successful. Product recommendations, depending on your product, but for sizing and stuff, could be influencer requests. Hey, I'm an influencer. How many followers do you have? Reach out to add our marketing team, whatever that is. Returns, order updates, shipping addresses. These are all through the actions, like you mentioned. Cancellations, low confidence, legal, compliance, working with 3PLs. The bot's not going to call the guy in the warehouse to find out where the order is. Yet, lost packages, they're not going to find out. Failed payments, chargebacks, wholesale orders, possibly wholesalers in the future, warranty claims, and just unexpected situations that it's just never been trained on in the past. Things to think about, though, you don't just have to automate a ticket in full from end to end. So let's take returns, for example. You can have a customer go through a conversation with the bot about a return, and if they want to return it because they changed their mind or they gave it as a gift and the person doesn't like it, great. But if they're experiencing an issue with a product, maybe you send that to someone on the retention team to try and salvage the sale. A lot of our customers, they're saying, I don't want to make it that easy to cancel an order. I don't want to just accept every return. We have a really technical product. People might be experiencing issues, but we can fix it. So if they're experiencing an issue, send it to a retention agent. Have the agent that really specializes in that try and salvage that sale. And if it's for particular reasons, automate the return and get them on their way. Similar with warranties. Let's say it's a defect, and your workflow is ask them about the defect, maybe upload some photos, have the bot take the customer through that process. So when the agent gets the ticket, they're just filling out the warranty claim. They have everything they need in front of them. So it doesn't need to be automated in full. The whole goal here is to boost productivity, which is, automation, but also just getting tickets to an agent where they just have everything they need in front of them to get a response back to the customer. So something to think about there. Huge productivity jump for the agents. Now, empathy, personalization. Like at Omnie, we weren't really comfortable a year ago with automation. Like we thought it was really robotic, and we always had the culture that we want to provide the customers a great experience over saving a couple dollars. We had some automation there as well, but we always worked with really brand-conscious brands. The big brands, they don't want to talk to customers. They want you to go through hoops to get in touch with them. That wasn't really our culture, but with the kind of the new technology out there with OpenAI, ChatGPT, you can inject your brand tone and your brand voice. It can be standard templates or standard kind of like from a drop down, I believe, Jordan, in the back end, but then also custom. So if you may not have a brand tone, brand voice, or you don't know what it is, but you can kind of come up with something and inject your really, really customizable tone. You could use emojis, you could be funny, you could be sarcastic, you could be concise, to the point, chatty. So all of those things, try and come up with a brand voice with your team. A really unique one we did, we work with Jason Momoa's water company. He's Aquaman. He's a Hawaiian surfer. He wants the bot to talk like him. Really, really unique. Someone gets a damaged package. It says something like the bot's name's Jason. It says something like, damn, wouldn't you rather be surfing the waves than dealing with this? Super, super unique brand tone. People think they're talking to Jason, given the photos that some people sent through chat. So it is super unique brand tone. So this is what we've been able to achieve when AI is implemented properly. This is Fry. They're America's longest running shoe company. They've been around since 1863. And we're saving them about 240 hours a month of support time. That's about a full-time agent and a half. We're automating in full almost 800 tickets and saving them quite a bit of time. CSAT scores for the agent are fantastic as well. And we know that the customers think, they're not hiding, they're not saying that it's an AI agent, they're comfortable giving it a name. And we know that customers think it's a human because they're actually leaving feedback. Their bot's called Caleb, I think. Caleb's great, love Caleb. Nobody writes that for a bot. Nobody would leave a score for a bot, at least I don't think so. We're coming up to 4:30 here, so some some ways to get started. We talked about this. Determine what is your brand tone, your brand voice. You may not have a brand book. Figure out how you want to talk to your customer so it's consistent. And maybe if you don't have that brand tone or brand voice, share that with your agents too. So we work with a lot of, kind of, as a hybrid model with a lot of brands where the macros are super robotic. Copy, paste, thanks for reaching out, kind regards. Spruce it up a bit and make sure that your agents are also utilizing that brand voice if that's an exercise that you're going to go through with your team. Who thinks they have a flushed out help center? Who thinks their help center is up to date, accurate, working well? You do? Awesome. You do as well? Perfect. So the kind of phase one is going to be the AI using help center content. Website scraping coming soon, right? July. Really? You guys are moving fast. I thought it was phase two. Well, if you implement automate today, make sure that the help center content really, really accurate, short, concise articles. Gorgias has a great AI article generation tool. So if you don't know what that is, Gorgias is tracking questions that are coming through where there's no content in the help center. You can and generating articles on your behalf. So you can sort of combing through tickets and see what customers are asking. They're going to generate articles. You can go through and just approve them. So then it's just going to become more and more successful. Phased approach. We talked about this. To make yourself feel comfortable, really quick or really easy order status questions. Check the brand tone, the brand voice. Make sure that you use the playground if you're using if you have any guidance, especially for businesses like yours where it can be a little sensitive. Test on the playground a lot and make sure that you're comfortable before you push that live. And then have agents handle potentially complex tickets. Indexing, website content coming out tomorrow, says Jordan. Hold them to it. This is really important. You can upload 10 links, like Google Docs, your website content. So make sure your website is up to date. We typically don't index blogs. Blogs can become outdated. We tend to leave that out. But make sure your website's up to date. And product recommendations, anything coming from your site, if your website's up to date, the bot should be accurate. And like we talked about before, you'll be able to see where these responses are coming from. So you'll be able to go back and make any changes to your website if you need. And use customer sentiment, not just for reporting, but to escalate requests to agents if you have to. So Gorgias will notice if there's any kind of frustration with your customer using the chat widget. Now that you're up and running, metrics for success. Like I said, AI, you don't just plug in and walk away. It's constant maintenance. Gorgias is going to keep releasing really, really cool tools. You're going to want to implement them, monitor them. Like a few of you mentioned, you can use your agents to do this. You don't have to hire an AI team to do this. Have your agents monitor the requests every so often. Add the help center articles, monitor the requests, provide feedback. So when you do see a ticket, say that ticket was great. Don't just focus on the bad tickets. If it is answering properly, give it that, like you would with an agent, give it that positive feedback. And then if it's bad, you can see where it maybe went wrong and provide feedback on those responses. So we have a whole team at Omnie's sole job is managing AI. So it is a job if you don't have agents there to do it. So what metrics could be used? Customer satisfaction scores. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Not much to say there. Very obvious. Escalation rate. So we talked about this briefly. Where in the workflow are customers dropping off? Are they frustrated? If they're frustrated, at what point are they consistently dropping off? Maybe there's a gap. Maybe the response that the customer is getting is upsetting them, and then they just want to speak to an agent. So try and find where those gaps might be. The automation rate. I mean, you should see this trend up. Always. The AI should be learning. You should be providing feedback. Just the overall automation rate. And then customer sentiment post the conversation with the bot. We want them to leave happy. Some customers aren't going to leave CSAT scores. I don't know around the room here what percentage of your customers actually fill them out, but it could be under 20%. Some customers are just going to leave upset and not share the feedback. So it's important that you are going through and seeing, especially if it's an abandon. Like, when did the customer just drop off halfway through the conversation? They just got frustrated and left. Not everybody will hammer the agent button or want to speak. They'll just leave. And then you've potentially lost that customer. Gorgias does a great job of telling you how much time, how much money you've saved. So I think the average cost for a human to answer a ticket is $3.30. And with Gorgias Automate, it's as low as 50 cents, as high as $1. So you can be saving a sixth of the cost. And Gorgias does a great job of showing you ROI there. First response time, how fast are they responding? The average handle time, how many messages is the bot sending? You want to have the highest one-touch tickets possible. So if you're noticing that bot conversations are 15 messages and the agents are 3, you have some work to do to get customers on their way, get them resolution, focused service quickly, and then spot checking responses. So customers, like I mentioned, that have a poor experience won't be necessarily leaving feedback. So go through, check them out, see what the bots respond. Use your agents to, with the extra time that they have on their hands, have them spot check those responses. So these kind of metrics will help you mold your AI and hopefully make you feel comfortable with it. We've been implementing AI with our customers. It was always 9 months ago was a flashy new toy. All of our partners like, show me AI, show me this cool toy. Very few of them wanted to implement it. They all wanted to talk about it. They all wanted to see it, but very few implemented it. But if you can kind of do it in a phased approach, right, you get comfortable with it, you're going to start to see the success. And yeah, it was a tough conversations with our brands to try and get them on it. But if you do it in a phased approach, you're going to see a lot of success. So again, I'm Jordan. I'm from Omnie. I'm going to take questions as long as you want. But if you did want to reach out to me, there you go. Our entire AI team as well. If you have any questions, happy to kind of chat with you when we're home and answer any questions that you have in more detail. But yeah, I appreciate you guys. I love chatting all things customer service, AI. I love nerding out on this stuff. Any questions I can help you with before we go to the bar?
What are the limitations of the website scraping as far as like text, images, or video?
Yeah, Jordan's here to help me with that, but no text and no video. Right. No images, no video. Correct? So far.
That's the first version is just text.
Yeah. So we've been working with tools in the past where we are doing image reading, and I imagine Gorgias will get there as well, where customers will take a picture of it. We work with a toy company, and someone might have bought a toy for their child years ago. They'll take a picture of the toy and send it in, and the AI will be able to find that product so they can repurchase. Or send in damaged item photos, and determine if it's actually damaged. Then you can go past the human step, and then you have a damaged item, send us a picture. The AI will determine, yeah, it is damaged, and then reissue the product in Shopify. Whereas right now, certain tools, you would have to then send it to a human to do it. But once we have image detection, that would be really, really cool. What's up?
All the limitations that wholesale orders, does that mean that the Gorgias AI integration automation doesn't work with B2B websites?
Not necessarily limitations, but things where the bot may not have a really high confidence. So I'm just referencing that based on our partners, where they might have particular discounts. If you're a VIP customer or you're ordering from this company, you might get special discounts or special thresholds. So depending on how you do your wholesaling, we do have it set up where our brands, we have a particular brand where anyone that orders over 20 pieces, 15% off. Over 30, very black and white, doesn't matter where you're from, that we can automate. But if you have to place the order manually and call your fulfillment house and ship them all together, that kind of stuff might be tougher.
Does it work behind a wall, like a passcode wall website?
No, so it's only integrated with Shopify. So if you're using any other tool.
Shopify, like B2B website.
Okay.
Behind a passcode. Wonder if it would work behind that.
Do you know, Jordan?
Yeah, so if you're trying to get it to scrape a website and that website's password protected, say like a Google Doc,
Yeah.
it's kind of easy to learn.
Yeah.
But as long as your Shopify account is integrated into Gorgias, and it learns directly, it's like a two-way sync to your Shopify account. So it's not like putting in a URL and asking it to scrape. It's more native within Gorgias.
Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Perfect. Both Jordans teaming up and get it done. Any other questions? No?
Can I share?
Please.
We were talking about empathy and personalization.
Yeah.
One story that I thought was really cool
Yeah.
Really like compared to what some human agents are doing, unless you have like agents that always go the extra mile, it actually can kind of make it more personalized.
Yeah. And we operate as a BPO, we operate a little differently. We never use macros. Or if we use macros, they're really, we force the agents to really heavily edit them because agents can get lazy, like you said, and if they're, we want them to be productive. So we say, we would love you to close this many tickets. They'll just start firing off macros blindly. So we think it's worse. We'd rather have the agent take more time and write something personal versus just like blindly firing off macros. And yeah, taking into context the email is where AI is great. So I saw an example the other day where someone was asking for a product recommendation and they said greetings from Switzerland at the end. The AI responded and at the end said enjoy your evening in Switzerland. I don't know many agents that would even do that, and that was and that email was sent in a few minutes there. So good point there. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
So what I've been experimenting with is like is going the extra mile sort of thing so that we can create a bunch of content to actually have a brand voice that isn't so conceptual and it's more like this is actually what we sound like when we're like doing our best.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if like is that anywhere on roadmaps where it's like as we are, our Gorgias helped us
Yep.
as they are. Can we learn from and the A will I guess this is more like a pipe dream, I guess.
Yep.
But the AI is so context aware that it learns the brand voice itself, I guess.
I can't answer roadmap question with Gorgias. We have been doing that. Sorry, we've been doing that in the past. But since you're on Gorgias, using the Gorgias platform, I'll let Jordan talk about any roadmap questions, if that's okay. Good question, though.
Yeah, great question. Right now, it was mentioned earlier, but we can look at your past tickets and generate call center articles. It's already live. The next one up is guidance, which is maybe you probably heard that term throughout the day, but it's more private, like business logic or instructions, your policies that the AI agent will follow. It's not on your website. It's not on our roadmap to develop like brand voice, but I can see that coming up next. A huge takeaway for our team, we've been talking about it a lot, is like how important brand voice is when talking about AI agent. So that's something we're going to go back and just like really make it clear to our product team that it's a priority. But in terms of brand voice, like if you haven't, it was I think your very first item for like how to prepare or what to do next. Like really pull it out every single thing in your brand voice. Like when do we use emojis?
Yeah.
Not describing like yeah, be cool, be friendly, but like
Yeah.
use emojis, use short sentences. Like never have a paragraph more than 3 lines. Like really getting concrete about your do's and don'ts. The more explicit you can be, the better the AI will be at following it.
Yeah. And we, in the past, will use the last 6 months of Gorgias tickets to create the brand voice for the brand, and they almost always replace it because there are agents that are just not using the brand tone and the brand voice. So if the last 6 months, or they've had poor agents or agents doing a bad job, and then so we'll come in and it will auto create the brand voice, and they almost always edit it themselves, or haven't thought of brand tone and brand voice. So then you have 6 agents with completely different styles. So, yeah. Hopefully that helps. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes. Yeah. So I think you support all the languages that you can support through chat right now, right? Yeah. So I think that's 15 languages. Yeah. So if you enter in your Gorgias account and you're creating a separate, his head's in the way. Sorry, I'll go over here. Yeah, I think they can create Spanish, Italian. So as long as you have that those options there, then it'll pick up on it.
One limitation, which should be fixed soon, is like the help center content that you train the AI agent on has to be in English.
That's true.
That's something that obviously should change and will evolve. But whatever language the email comes in, the AI agent's good at adapting on.
Do you use any translation services, or do you have native speakers?
So we have all of our macros translated into like 10 different languages
Okay.
for 36 countries.
Yep.
That we have to be able to communicate with them.
Yeah.
And so we either use translation services
Yep.
or we ask them to use.
Yeah. Yeah, we use Lingpad. So what happens when a message comes in? It supports any global language. Message comes in that language, and the agent sees it in English. They write back in English. Customer sees that in their language. Over and above the 15 that Gorgias supports, I don't know if the AI would be able to kind of work with LingPad, but I think it's $25 a month, unlimited kind of translations through all digital channels. Yeah. Yeah. Any other questions? If not, I'll be around later anyway. I appreciate you all joining. Public speaking isn't my strong suit, so thanks for going easy on me. Thanks, guys. I'll be around if you have any questions.